Everyone loves food. It's fuel for our rides and, well, fuel for our lives. But what do you eat pre-ride, during ride and post-ride? That can be a little bit of a minefield. So let's throw it back to earlier on where we're going to dive into what and eat and drink out on a ride. Pre-ride first. Now you're going to want to start your ride with a full tank because you're going to be in for the long haul, and being well fueled is the way to go. So think of carbohydrate rich foods because, well, they are going to be your main source of energy to keep you going throughout the day. A good breakfast of oats or porridge is a great way to start the day because it's going to give you that slow release energy. It's going to drip feed you what you need throughout the day to keep you going. Whereas something like scrambled egg on some whole grain toast is going to be nice and protein rich, which is another kind of source of fuel that you're going to need for those big rides that you're going to be heading out on. Of course, bikes and coffee go hand in hand. Caffeine is actually an ergogenic aid, which means it helps in the production of energy. So having a little coffee before a ride could be perfect to get you up that first hill climb or just the beginning bit of the ride when you're feeling a little bit sluggish maybe. Try to stay away though from those larger, milkier drinks from large chains, as these can be really high in sugar, which, while it can give you that little boost you need, will be quickly followed by a big old crash, and you don't want that. Food during a ride. What should you do then? Well, as a general rule of thumb, little and often is the way to go. So half an energy bar, flapjack, a little snack here or there per hour is what I'd roughly look at taking. It just helps keep the tank topped up nicely. Don't worry though, these don't have to be cycling specific bars. I know that they can seem quite expensive or unnecessary sometimes, but sort of calorie dense bars, things like flapjacks or snack bars, if you're at a trail center, then this is a great place that you can often pick them up too. Just make sure you've always got something on you as a bit of a backup. Disaster though, sometimes the inevitable happens and you run out of energy on a ride. This is known as bonking. You've hit that wall, it's very hard to climb over it. If this is the case, or if you've experienced this before, then a great way to overcome this is something sugar rich. So things like jelly babies, they're great for that instant hit to actually perk you back up. Be careful though, you don't want to be down in too much of these because then you're just going to be running on sugar. It's like running on fumes. You're good to go for a little bit, but eventually you are going to crash again. So that is where that calorie dense, carb loaded kind of bars and fuel come back into play. But remember also, you want to be drinking during all of this as well. I roughly aim at having about a 500 ml bottle about every hour or so, but this can be dependent upon weather conditions, if it's really hot or cold and things like that. Post-ride then, you're done and dusted for the day. You're chilling, but you still need to refuel. It's important, peeps. So things like carb and protein energy rich foods are essential here again, because you got to rebuild those muscles, you got to replenish those depleted energy stores. So think of things like risotto, beans on toast, if you're feeling a bit fancy, steak and chips even. But remember, you got to keep hydrated, so maybe sneak a cheeky beer in there as well. That's a good shout actually. I could do with a beer.